right side of the grave this morning. That we got a lot to be thankful for today. And sometimes we forget about those and all the sacrifices that God made for us. But today is a new day. And we woke up with our rightful minds, and some didn't wake up in their rightful minds today. Some didn't wake up knowing what we know today. So today is a new day, and we'll bless the Lord in every day that we wake up. Amen? Well, I'm glad to be here today. And first of all, I want to say this is like home for me. Because although I was raised in Connecticut, when we came down here, you know, we never knew our grandmother them as far as being raised with them. So when we came down here, it was like a second raising for us. So Calvary is always my home. You know, it doesn't matter where I'm at or what I do, but in my heart, Calvary is always my home. This is always, y'all always a part of me. So y'all always go with me anywhere I go. So it's an honor to be here and to come back home and to speak to the people I grew up with and the people that I was raised with and the people that helped mold me. With my mother and my father. Thank you, Pastor Butler, for having me today. And my wife, who's a part of me. Whenever I speak, a lot of times I forget to mention her name because I feel like we won. And when I speak, she speaks. And our church, you know, this is the Stone That Washes on the River Ministries, and they came out with us, and we might be small in numbers, but we big in faith. It don't matter about the numbers. They're here every week. They had Bible study every week. So Jesus grows us in faith. So I'm glad to be here today, and I'm glad to bring a word from God today. And the word, when I talked to my father, and he told me that the scripture was going to be Psalms 37:23, and I said, that's a great scripture. And so that's what we're going to go from. And then in Psalms 37:23, it says, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. So the title of this sermon today is called simply A Good Man. A Good Man. All right. Now, first I'm going to pick on a few people. Jerry Hampton. Wouldn't you agree, Jerry, or consider that if anything is considered good, that it would have to meet its intended operational standard by its manufacturer? You work anything that you say, okay, this is good, it has to meet those requirements, right? Just like a die-hard battery, it must produce enough cranking amps, and it's listed in its operational manual to start your car. And in order for it to be considered good. And then you take, my father is into air conditioning, you take a Lennox air conditioning unit. It must produce enough BTUs, and that's listed in its operational manual in order for it to be considered good. But wouldn't we all agree in here today that in order for us, for man, to be considered good, that he would have to meet his intended operational standards on earth by his manufacturer, also listed in his operational manual, right? Amen. Now wait a minute. Who is God's manufacturer? Or who is man's manufacturer? God, right? That's important to say because a lot of times I have conversations in the world, they don't always say God. I ask who they manufacture. I hear the moon, sun, stars, my mother. I hear all kinds of stuff. So that's important to know. And the next question is, what's man's operational manual? The Bible. That's good to know too, because I asked that last time and they told me the proclamation. I said, wait a minute. So man's manufacturer is God, right? And his manual is the Bible, right? So if we wanted to find out what's God's intended operational standard for man in the Bible, we will all agree we would have to go to Genesis. That you have to start from the beginning, and you have to find out exactly what God's instruction was to man, right? To know exactly how he intended to be. Well, guess what, ladies? I already see how the men is looking in here. See, this is their favorite part right here. They chest poked out, they pulling their belts up, because the word that's going to stick out in their mind automatically is dominion. God gave us dominion over the earth. So it's almost like watching their favorite movie and they say, be quiet, baby, my part coming up. That dominion over the earth. And I've heard a lot of people say this, but the one thing about it is that dominion is such a strong word. And that the root word of dominion is domain. And it means supreme authority and absolute ownership. But the truth is, God never gave man one instruction for everything, but rather different instructions for different relationships. See, if we go back to Genesis 1:27 and 28, it says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Do you notice that God didn't give man dominion or supreme authority over the woman, but rather gave both of man and woman dominion over the earth and animals?
Right. Yeah. Amen. Amen.
So let's ask ourselves a question today. Why didn't God create man to have dominion over man? Or when we know man, we talk about mankind, man and woman. The answer is because of our conscience. See, even the worst people have consciences. Now, I remember watching a documentary, and it was a mob hitman. He had killed hundreds of people. And you'll think inside automatically that this guy has no heart, he has no conscience, because he's killed all these people. But one thing that he said stuck out with me. He said that although I kept killing all these people, he said it was not one night that I had a good night's rest in all those years. And you look at him from the outside in and say, he don't have a conscience. But God created all men with a conscience. Right. But guess what? The animals don't have consciences. And I've raised animals all my life, and some people think they have a conscience because they'll fool you sometimes. A dog may do something and you go out there and he's looking crazy like he know what he's done, but that's not what he's going by. He has instincts. And what happens is with his instincts, he's reading your facial expressions. Because he works off of facial expressions. He's used to seeing you look a certain way. And he know he stepped outside his norm because he's built on traditional things. Whatever he do over and over again, he knows it. And he know if I tore up a rug that I ain't used to tearing up, now I'm going to look at your facial expressions. And when he see they are different, that tells him it's a problem here. But not because he really cares about what he done. He don't have a conscience about that. You ever went outside and you seen a female dog saying, hey, I can't go home. I ate my kids this morning. I don't know what I'm going to do. I can't go home. They don't do that. They'll eat their children one day and lick you in the face the next minute because they don't have a conscience. And without a conscience, that's why God knows anything without a conscience, then you have to have dominion over it. There's no way you can not have dominion over something without a conscience. So everything God created with a conscience, he also gave a free will and a choice of right and wrong, even from himself. Amen. Remember, God said that he could make the rocks cry out if he wanted to. So if he could make the rocks cry out, he could make us praise him. Amen. If he wanted, why he don't do that? He didn't make us praise him. He's God. That's right. He could make us praise him every day. But he don't exercise dominion over us because he gave us a free will. Amen. And with a free will, he's given us a choice. Amen. That's what free will is all about. Amen. So now, if he created us in his own image, then why would he create a being to have dominion over another being that has a free will? That makes sense to you. It doesn't make it. It's more like slavery. Remember, in slavery, you took an entire culture that tried to have dominion, supreme authority, absolute ownership over another culture. And how did that turn out? It turned out that by hardening the hearts, what it produced was hatred, anger, unforgiveness. So young men, do you want to know why she just won't act right? Why she just don't listen to you? Why she's always mad? Why she's just not submissive? Why she's so feisty? Questions everything you say. It's because you've been trained to exercise dominion, supreme authority, absolute ownership over someone that was created with a conscience and a free will and a choice to do right or wrong.
Amen. Amen.
We understand that.
Amen.
But young men, what you don't know is that Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians 11:3, he says, if the head of the man is Christ. Now he's changing it a little bit. If the head of the man is Christ, then he says that same man will be the head of the woman. How many of us know that there's a major difference between exercising dominion, supreme authority, absolute ownership over someone compared to being the head of someone? See, it's a difference in that. When we exercise dominion, supreme authority, absolute ownership over someone, then we take away the conscience. And we replace it with our own will. And our own instruction. And guess what? We ultimately void their free will and their choice of right and wrong, which over time can only produce feelings of hatred, anger, unforgiveness towards us inside, whether they know it or not.
Amen.
This is why they don't act right.
That's true.
Because it's the inside. It's because you're trying to dominate them. And they wasn't created to be dominated.
That's right.
They were created with free will and with a conscience and a choice of right and wrong. But when we are the head of something or someone, it's a certain responsibility.
Yes, it is.
That's attached. It's an urge inside us now to protect and guide what we are part of. And we will give it all that we have for its well-being. We'll care about it, and it hurts and pains because we are one, and what hurts it hurts us.
That's right. That's true.
It's just like a relationship between our head and our legs. You don't hear your head saying, walk! Walk! You want 10 lashes? I control you! You're mine! You don't see our heads dominating our legs, but it's the head.
That's true.
But guess what? What it does is it rather watches out for that. Watch that glass. Be careful. That lawnmower blade is sharp. Oh, you had a hard day? Let me run you a hot bath. That's right. Take some Motrin. Take some Aleve. Because it cares. There's a difference in dominating something and being the head of something that you're part of. When you're the head of something, you care about it. And you treat it different.
That's right.
My wife don't follow me or believe in me because I exercise dominion, supreme authority, or absolute ownership over her, but because I follow God. Because I admit when I'm wrong. And I repent because I sincerely care about what she cares about. Because I don't ask her to do anything I'm unwilling to do. Because I lead by example. And because I've given up being popular with the world for being persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Amen. Praise God.
In Philippians 2:8, it says about Jesus that being found and fashioned as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto the death, even the death of the cross.
Amen.
So now you take Adam. If Adam had been the head of Eve, instead of trying to dominate her, Adam might have told her, don't listen to that snake. He's a liar. He means you no good. Leave him alone. Follow God as I follow God.
That's right.
See, men, we were created to be the head, not to dominate.
That's true.
So our first step is that God has ordered, which proves we are indeed good and functioning in His intended operational standards for us, is to be led by Christ.
Amen.
Christ has to be our head.
That's
and
true.
our second step is to be one with the woman.
Yes.
To be the head of the woman spiritually, not the dominator of woman physically.
Right.
The third step is to have dominion over the animals. Now, most people don't have to worry about that. I don't see very many people that don't exercise dominion over the animals, but some people do. Some people have a problem with that. And they'll put an animal in a person's place. They'll treat an animal kinder than they treat a person. When God calls an animal beasts.
Yes.
Because they have no conscience. Anything without a conscience, without a choice of good, God is not going to treat them like a person. Shall I give the children's bread to dogs? And that's how we have to be with that. We have to put that in its proper place. And some people have a problem with that. I live with my dog and my cat, but I can't talk to people. How does that work?
It doesn't.
No ministries with animals,
It doesn't.
beings without consciences. Then there's one last step. But this is actually the biggest step. If we go back to Genesis where God gave different instructions and different things, one of the things that God said, which is actually the most important thing, and most people miss this revelation. It talks about the earth. Remember he said the earth? In the paragraph before it, he said have dominion over the earth. But in this particular paragraph, he said subdue it. Now that right there sticks out because that sounds like when he's saying subdue the earth, it sounds like cut the grass, trim back your hedges. Jimmy Kelly, you do a good job in that. When I pass by your house, it looks immaculate. The grass is cut, you subduing it. Your bush is held back. Roscoe, you do a good job, a great job in that. Your grass is cut, your bushes look good. But that's not what God is talking about. My father, you're doing a much better job.
That's all right.
Your yard is starting to look good. But anyways, but that's not what God is talking about. When he's talking about to subdue it, when he's talking about the earth. See, in Genesis 3:19, God talks about the flesh. And he says, in the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread till thy return into the ground. For out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. See, when God said to have dominion over the earth and to do it, he wasn't talking about the grass, the trees, and the shrubs, but our flesh. Our flesh is from the ground.
Yes, it is.
When he's saying subdue it, he ain't talking about keep the yard cut. He's saying you have a flesh that's from this ground. And I'm going to return it back to this ground. But one of my biggest orders for you is to have dominion over it and to subdue it, to subdue your flesh. You notice these instructions was before the fall about subduing the earth, your flesh. That was before the fall. So now, if it was for before the fall, why would you have to subdue something that wasn't going to be unruly? Does that make sense to you? Why would God say subdue something that's okay? That's not going to be a problem. He's forewarning you. He's foretelling you. When he put you in this body, he's telling you already, I got something here that you need to subdue.
That's right.
But you got a problem here.
Yes.
See, we wasn't created perfect. There was only one perfect one, God.
That's right.
But see, we was created good. The definition of good is somewhat high, but not excellent in quality. Correct or proper, of a favorable character or tendency. See, good's not about perfection, but it's about your choice or your decision.
Right,
That's
right.
what being good is about. When he's saying we was created good, it wasn't that we was created perfect. I hear a lot of times, Adam had to did not. That's not what it's saying. What it's saying is it was a choice. He was never created perfect. And then a lot of times, we ask, why didn't God create us perfect? Because if he created us perfect, guess what it'd take away? Your free will.
Right, right.
How could I have free will if I'm perfect? Then you only gave me the choice of good.
That's
Right,
You didn't give me a choice of bad.
That's
you can't
right.
make me perfect and give me free will. They don't go together.
That's right.
If you're going to create me, give me a choice. If you say, I got free will, let me choose whether I want to do what's right or wrong.
That's true.
That's why he created us good. He's saying at this particular time you haven't done anything. Your choice is good right now. But you're not perfect. You have something in you that's a choice of wrong.
That's right.
If you take it, Jesus said the flesh is weak.
Amen.
But the spirit is indeed willing.
Willing.
What's weak about the flesh? I see strong flesh. I people muscled up. What's weak about the flesh? It's weak in making good decisions.
Yes, it is.
That's what's weak
Doing
about
what's
the flesh.
right. Yes, it is.
And he's letting you know. That's why the spirit have to have dominion over the flesh. And that's why the spirit have to subdue the flesh. That's why God said that in the beginning. And a lot of times we blame everything on the devil. If the devil hadn't never came and talked to Eve, but that's not how it went down. First of all, you notice when the devil was talking to Eve, it said that Eve saw that the fruit was pleasant to the eyes. The devil didn't tell her that. What told her that? It's something you talking to. It's more than just the devil. I told you it was pleasant to your eyes. And then it said they were tree to be desired. Who desired it? The devil ain't to tell you to desire it.
That's right.
You had something in you that was already there.
Well,
That the devil just came and pushed that up.
Yes, it
And
did.
then if that don't prove enough to you, take the devil. One time, remember, the devil was the angel. He was the angel of light. And it said that he was perfect in all his ways, remember? Who sent him? When he
Good
did that,
question. Yeah.
we got two devils. The devil came and tempted him. Who told him to do wrong? Who told him to go against God? Who was the devil before the devil? He had a choice. He had a choice. Just like we had a choice. And the devil didn't push none up and eat that wasn't already in you.
That's
Because
right.
you already had a flesh.
That's true.
It was good just because it hadn't done wrong yet.
That's
Not
right.
because it didn't have the potential to do wrong.
well,
And that's why you have to subdue it. Are we
Amen.
understanding that?
Amen.
See, in order to subdue the flesh, then we have to walk into the spirit. And that's why the steps of a good man has to be ordered by the Lord. We
Amen.
live in a society that walks according to the flesh. So it's learned to accept the fallen nature of man. And I hear this all the time. And they'll say, you know, it's okay for a man to cheat. We'll see little kids and say, he's going to be a player already. Father puffed up. Look at him. He's talking to all the little girls. We created to dominate women. We're created to walk in stubbornness. And it's tolerated for us to walk into the pride of life. And then I hear it all the time. A world will say, that's just a man being a man. And I felt that way also. I used to say it about myself. I'm a man. You know, until I felt the love of God.
come on.
Right? And once I felt the love of God and he started talking to me, I was raised in church. But it took God himself to come and talk to me and give me revelations of his word and tell me what it meant.
Well,
when I seen what he cared about me and how he cared about when I was up and I was down, and how he had an opinion of me that was above the opinion that I had of myself. And I seen the places that he brought me from, and then I seen where it took 42 generations for him to come here. And when he came here, how he died for us, he didn't have to do that.
well,
He was sitting on the throne. And he came down, humbled himself, and died for us a horrible death. So we have a right to a tree of life. And
Amen.
when I seen all those things that he done, and I seen the sacrifice he made, now, I wasn't an easy case. I was tough. I seen Jesus working with me. And I had a bet against him. I'm saying, if you get me, you good. And he got me. I seen him do it. I'm watching him. I'm watching him work me. And I seen his love. And when I seen that, how can I go back to the same? How can I act like I don't see that?
Praise
I
God.
don't walk around anymore and say a man is just a man. God taught me better than that.
Amen.
He trained me better than that. He made me look at myself better than I looked at myself.
Well.
The devil had me talking to myself and thinking I was less than I actually was, that I couldn't do what's right. A man is just a man. I can't stop this. I can't stop that. I didn't have control over my flesh. But when I went back, when Jesus told me to go back and read what I told you when I made you to have dominion over this flesh. I told you to subdue it. And I got something in you that's stronger than the flesh. The flesh is indeed weak, but the spirit is indeed willing. I gave you something that controls the flesh.
Yes, yes, Lord. Yes.
It started changing things to me. I remember one time I was jogging and God showed me a perfect example of this. I'm jogging one time, right? I'm trying to get in shape and everything, so I want to get in shape. So I'm jogging and next thing you know, I'm so tired, I can't even keep running. I'm saying, I'm going to stop. And so God told me to touch forehead. I touched my forehead, not a drop of sweat. Not a drop of sweat. No way I'm tired and not sweating.
Amen.
So guess what? Now I'm starting to think. And God said, I'm not telling you to stop. You're not telling you to stop.
Come on now.
What's telling you to stop?
Flesh.
The flesh.
That's flesh.
That's when I seen it. I said, oh, I got you now. You've been against me. You don't care about me getting in shape. You want me to die. You want me to have died. I started seeing it and I got mad. And when I got mad, I said, guess what? No, you don't control me no more. Now I'm a free man. God has told me what's been my problem. It's been you the whole time. You don't care about me. You don't want the best for me. So guess what? Now I'm going to have dominion over you. Now I'm going to subdue you. Now guess what? We're going to get up at this time of the day. We're going to do this amount of miles. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. I'm going to give you this. That's it. Now I'm subduing the flesh.
Amen.
When he gave me power. And I seen what Jesus walked in. Jesus had no money physically. He never said he was a slave. He came here as a Roman, as under the Romans, in slavery.
That's right.
And Jesus always said, I'm free. My Father is God. He who the Son has set free is free indeed.
That's true. Amen.
And when I seen that, then that changed me. I couldn't walk around no more saying something controlled me. I'm just a man. When God showed me better than that, he showed me I can control myself.
That's
and I
right.
can do the things that I need to do, and he didn't create me that way.
That's
And
right.
that's when I said, okay, I got it now. Now I'm not walking in that no more. I don't care what the world thinks. I don't care what it does. Do what you
Yes,
do.
Lord.
If the world want to be dominated by the flesh, have at it. But as for me, I'm not going to be dominated by my flesh.
That's
I'm
right.
not going to be controlled by my flesh. God gave me a power that's stronger than that.
Yes, sir.
And he told me
Yes,
that when he
Lord.
created
Yes,
me, he
he
didn't
did.
create me just
Yes, he
me.
did.
He didn't create nothing just me.
That's right. He
He
did.
said everything that I made it good.
That's right.
Not good as in perfect, but I made it to have a choice.
That's right.
And if you want what's choice, I'll give you a way out.
That's
I'll
right.
give you a way to defeat that flesh. It's not stronger than you.
That's right.
And when I seen that, I had to change.
That's right.
I'm
That's
not going to
right.
walk in darkness when I see the light.
That's right.
It's foolishness to me.
That's right.
That's right.
I know better than that. I'm going to teach my children better than that.
Change it.
And I'm going to
Right.
walk better than that. I'm going to lead
Information
my wife the way she's supposed to be led.
Amen.
I'm not going to try to subdue anything anymore, except for the flesh.
Amen.
Everything else has a choice.
That's
And a
right.
free will.
That's
And I
right.
tell you my story and my testimony, and I urge you to do what's right. But I'm not trying to control anything.
That's right.
God has showed me that the steps of a good man has to be ordered by him.
That's right.
And I'm
Amen.
not walking in what's not good anymore.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm comfortable with that.
Yes.
I don't care what nobody thinks
That's
about.
right. That's
I don't
right.
care what nobody says, because they don't have to die for me. One day I got to meet Christ.
That's
And when I
right.
meet him, I'm going to look right in his face. And I'm able to tell
Yes,
him I
Lord.
did everything you told me to do.
Yes,
And I
Lord.
gave it 100%. And I changed my life.
Yes, Lord.
And you know my heart is towards you.
Yes,
And I
Lord.
preach your word.
Yes,
And I
Lord.
did what I told you I was going to do.
All right.
And I lived the way you told me to live.
Amen.
I wasn't ashamed of your gospel.
That's right.
And I'm going to tell him that to his face one day.
Amen.
And so today, all I'm here to tell you is this is my testimony. And I'm telling you the steps of a good man
Good thing.
has to be ordered by God. He didn't create you just anybody. He created a good man.
Good man.
Everything he created.
Yeah.
You don't have to walk in sin.
All right.
Don't let the world tell you you can't. There's no such word. It's you won't.
That's right.
You have the power to make the right choice.
That's right.
And to make the right decision. Walk in the
Amen. Praise God. Amen. Amen. Amen.